Hello everybody, this is Last Fair Album Gone Down. I am planning on this being a music reaction and review channel, focused on metal music, but will branch out from there. I decided that since I was going to name this channel after this album, that it should be the first album that I review. That is Last Fair Deal Gone Down by my favorite band, Katatonia. I got the beanie here with their logo on it. The upload schedule for this channel is going to be Monday, reacting to a metal song, Wednesday will be an album review, and then Friday will be reacting to a non-metal song. And so since it is a Wednesday, this is the album review. So getting right into it, this is Katatonia's fifth album. Their first album was called Dance of December Souls. Their second, Brave Murder Day. Those two albums were both in the same style of this doom, death metal kind of feel, where everything was bleak, their songs were longer, they used harsh vocals, and they were still very much Katatonia. However, on their third album, Discouraged Ones, things took a big turn. Clean vocals were used instead of harsh vocals, and things took a big shift and just evolved from there. In between Discouraged Ones and this album is Tonight's Decision, which is their 1999 album. Tonight's Decision and Last Fair Deal Gone Down, I think, have a lot of commonalities. However, they still have enough distinct qualities to make them two very separate albums, even though they were released, one in 1999 and this one, in 2001. I think Tonight's Decision has more of a depressing atmosphere to it, while this one, it sounds a bit more broken. And I know that might be like, that's kind of two similar ideas there, but I do think they are distinct enough to make them two worthwhile endeavors to listen to. When I say depressing with Tonight's Decision, you might think of a song like I Am Nothing, or For My Demons, or This Punishment, which are very much about suicidal thoughts. And while Last Fair Deal Gone Down also is sad overall, of course, this is a Katatonia album, I think the sound is much more broken rather than discordant and hopeless. I think this is more like you see in the album cover. It looks like it's some public restroom that's been smashed up, and that's really what the album makes you feel. I think a perfect example of this is the second song on the album, Chrome, where the lyrics paint this picture of a man living in some abandoned house who you imagine just spends his day staring out of windows, staring at a blank TV screen, and peeling skin from his arms as if it were wallpaper from his walls. And I think that's something that this album does better than the previous album. That is storytelling. Just like in that song, the next song, We Must Bury You, which I noticed for some reason on this picture it says We Must, burn you. That's not what it's called. The song is We Must Bury You. Depicts a murder and then burying the person and the regret that comes after that. I think this album also marks a bit of a departure vocally, where the vocal range for Jonas, the singer and frontman of this band, kind of expands his range a little bit more. Katatonia also have some of their best songs to this day on this record. I would say that Tear Gas, Tonight's Music, The Future of Speech, Sulfur are all songs that fans of the band would consider some of their best. And I think more sleeper hits are like Dispossession, Chrome, Sweet Nurse. There's a lot to dig into. As you can see, on the full album version, there are 14 tracks. Seeing as there are 14 tracks, it can get a little bit lengthy, and while I wouldn't say there's too much filler, there are certain moments on the album that are stronger than others. On songs like Passing Bird, Don't Tell a Soul, and March 4, I actually like the verses more than the chorus, which is a bit strange. But even those songs, which I think are a little bit on the weaker side, still have their merits and are good on their own right. The songwriting is rather straightforward, with verse, chorus being the primary song structure, but the cohesiveness of it all and the tangible emotion that it exudes makes it all worth it. Fans of more modern Katatonia might find a little more simplicity. If you listen to The Fall of Hearts, their 2016 release, you will definitely note that there's no prog here, really. I think the main weakness of this album is probably the length. And of course, that's taking into consideration bonus tracks. But we're talking about the full album, so I'm going to review the full album. And while I said there are no bad songs, there are certainly ones that make the album drag. I think it overstays its welcome just a little bit too much. In September of last year, I wrote a little piece about my ranking of all of the Katatonia albums, and this one ended up coming in 7 out of 9. So, of course, that's not great, but my opinions of the Katatonia albums are very high. All of them. I did disclude the first two albums because those are the Death Doom type albums, and I do like heavier stuff than Katatonia, but Death Doom was never really my cup of tea, so I only included Discouraged Ones through City Burials. I'll probably end up making a video about my rankings at some point as well, so be on the lookout for that. But as I said, the songwriting is simple and straightforward, but the emotion in it, the brokenness it exudes, it all comes together and it works as a very cohesive package. If you're looking for heaps of riffs and solos, this might not be the album for you. But if you like catchy melodies, sad lyrics, and just an indescribable atmosphere that I can't praise enough, then I would highly recommend this album. I think it's a very good album, regardless of me putting it at 7 out of 9, as I hold all Katatonia albums in very high regard. So, if you made it all the way through, thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about it, and I'll see you next time.